Oops, and we got a blank right there. Welcome to the show. Like I said, today we got a guest, which is Ray Madrigal. Hopefully I said that fairly correctly.
Madrigal.
Madrigal. I'm trying. Okay.
Yeah, that's close enough.
That's close. Okay.
Sure, no problem.
And he actually contacted me, which was kind of cool. And it's really an honor because things like I like to do things outside the box. Normally we're a tech show, but so I was more than willing to do something like this. And so could you tell us a little bit about you and who you are, and then we'll go into from there.
My name is Reynaldo, but they call me Ray Madrigal. And I was born in Runge, Texas, and I've lived in Corpus Christi the majority of my life. I went to the local through the local education system. Went into the Army at the young age of 17. Graduated while I was in the Army. Spent 3 years, the last 2 in Paris, France, and Munich, Germany. Came out, went to barber school, became a barber. While I was in the service, I was cutting hair, and I was a photographer. But my main military job was I was a demolition man, and I enjoyed all that, especially in the Black Forest of Germany. When I came back, I decided I wanted to work for myself, and for the next 50 years, I was self-employed. I never did work for anybody, so that was quite a challenge because you have to really get up in the morning and go out and make things happen. And I was one of those persons that made things happen. When I sort of semi-retired, after I graduated from Corpus Christi, let me see, Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, Texas. So I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I also graduated from Del Mar College with a legal assistant degree. So I think I have the necessary background to be the next governor of the state of Texas. I'm looking forward. I'm already out campaigning, and this weekend we're having our first fundraiser. We're having a fundraising brisket barbecue over at Julian's Barbecue at 1818 Baldwin Street in Corpus Christi, and we have quite a lineup of entertainers that are very popular in the Corpus Christi area, starting with Isidro Lopez Jr. His father was a very well-known musician in Corpus Christi. Ramiro González y los Campeones, well-known conjunto. Robert Rodriguez and los Tronos del Norte. And we have Robert Suarez, an old friend that says he can sing. Roland Leal, he does, what do you call it, karaoke. And all this is going to take place between 11 and 3 p.m. on Sunday, November the 3rd. And we're looking forward to it. We're putting all our energy to make it a complete success. And we invite the general public to come and support us and hear what we have to say. And looking forward to the general public supporting Ray Madrigal for governor of the state of Texas. So I invite you to. There was a gentleman from Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. You can come over and enjoy some of this brisket barbecue, South Texas style. It's very good. Very good.
Yeah, he put in the chat room, Texas governor candidate, right? And yep. That is correct. And could you also? I kind of want to go over this as well. And
sure.
This is some of the things that I found out online. And interestingly enough, of course, this has to do with the Memorial Coliseum. And of course, that was torn down. And I found out that you were also trying to save it. Of course, it was built in the 1950s, I believe. Historical landmark, and of course, it was named after the military veterans as well. So, can you?
It was dedicated to the veterans of World War II from Nueces County, and there was about 400 veterans that died during the World War II. And since it was dedicated to the veterans, I found it very hard for some people to wanting to tear it down. It was a magnificent building, even though it was old. It had been neglected from being brought up to date. But that's the way sometimes things happen. But we gathered, I would say, close to 15,000 signatures to prevent the demolition of Memorial Coliseum. But our city was determined to tear it down, and eventually we won some of the cases to preserve it at the local level in the courts. But at the end, through the appeal process, we lost the case, and as soon as they found out that it had been reversed, there was one of them wrecking balls ready to go, and they started tearing down. And once you start tearing down, that's it. There was no saving it. But not only myself, but a lot of citizens in Corpus Christi were against the tearing down of the Coliseum because it was a historical monument, and mainly because it was dedicated to the veterans of Nueces County. So now they just have a bare field there, and they're looking at a bond election that's going on right now. For they're asking for, I think, $46 million to do a project called Destination Bayfront, which some citizens are going to vote for it, some citizens are not. A lot of the people, especially the older generation, are not in favor of it because their taxes are going to go up, and mainly because it was a place that we thought was very sacred because it was dedicated to the veterans of World War II. But that's the way it goes sometimes. You win some and you lose some.
And I think there are a few other things in Corpus Christi that are historical landmarks, and it was kind of neglected. So things like that are important because that kind of goes with the history of the city. It needs to be preserved as well. Of course, now also you currently are a judge in Seadrift?
Seadrift, Texas, yes. I've been a judge almost a year already, and I'm enjoying my my job over there in Seadrift. It's not a very large community, but they have their problems, and I'm there to try to resolve some of the problems of the community. And I tell people, look, I never anticipated that one day I would be a judge, but I had since I came out of the service, I had been going to Del Mar College and then eventually to Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and I think that one of the factors of my being selected as a judge of that community was my education, and I always emphasize for everybody, especially our young people, to continue their education. Sometimes things might not work out for you right now, but don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going back. Even if you take just 3 hours or 6 hours or whatever, but continue. Because once you give up, then you sort of on the sideline. But as long as you continue to get an education, you'll do all right. And I think, I'm not too sure, but one of the main factors was the fact that I had a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and an associate's degree from Del Mar College in the legal assistant, because a judge is supposed to know a little bit about the law. I'm not going to say that I know a lot, but I know a little bit. A lot of the classes that I took in all those years that I was at the university are related to law enforcement, to making sure justice is given to everybody. And I tell people, look, I'm here to help you. Sometimes you need to come and tell me what the problem is, and we can both try to resolve the problem. Because I don't look at it as only the punishment phase of what I'm doing, but how will it affect the family and the community as to what I do. So I encourage people to come and talk to me, and I'm sure we can come to a amicable solution. And that's why I'm there in Seadrift, Texas. And I encourage people to come by. We have great fishing in Seadrift, not only shrimp, but oysters and a lot of water-related fishing. So it's a small community, but a beautiful community, and I'm sure when you go there, you'll want to come back or you'll want to stay there. It's right on the water, like Corpus Christi. So I'm very kind, and I feel that that I want to stay there forever.
Now, going back to you're currently still a judge, and of course, I think that that's going to help you when you become governor, perhaps in making certain decisions that you have to make when you're all. Of course, you're not governor; you're running for governor.
Yeah.
But so, how do you think that experience would go into perhaps in that type of office?
One of the things that helps me in making decisions is that the fact that I have always been self-employed, and I'm the buck stops here. I'm the one that makes the decision on the final situation, and like in Seadrift, the final decision is made by me. In the business world, the final decision was made by me. So I have the knowledge and the experience of making decisions, and I can tell you that I have always tried to be as fair as possible with everybody that comes before me, not only in the courtroom but in the business community and in life. And that's the way that I am. I try to be as fair as possible and make sure that everybody goes away feeling like they have gotten justice instead of feeling that they were done wrong. Because I learned one thing, that if the Lord forgives me, I can forgive other people, and that's a good rule to go by.
And also, can you tell me, of course, a governor is important because obviously they represent the state going for the federal government. So could you tell me what?
Sure. One of the things that I've seen our state government here in the last few years, and that's where sometimes the federal government has allocated some funds for Texas, and not only for the highways and the educational system, and some of the money has been returned back to the state, because what I understand, some people do not want too many rules or regulations in their lives or whatever. But these monies that are being sent to Texas are meant to help the general public, and I'm in favor of that, because if we can help everybody in the state that has a problem, I think the problems would be less across the state, and the government has always, the federal government has always been very fair with everybody, and sometimes the minorities in the state of Texas have gotten a lot of help from the federal government. So we look to the federal government to help us out in some of the situations that we find ourselves in. And I think that as governor of the state of Texas, I would make sure that I would work very close with Washington to make sure we would get all the necessary funds that we would need to educate our people, to make sure we had good roads, to make sure we had good health system in the state of Texas for all Texans, not only a few.
And could you also tell me what issues the people that you found out that the people of Texas are concerned with, that they want to be represented, and how about your own issues that you think need to be addressed as well, if elected as governor?
Well, one of the issues that a lot of people, especially our senior citizens, a lot of them travel out of state to go enjoy their senior years, either in Louisiana or Las Vegas, or some of those states that have casinos, and people that are of the age of retirement enjoy going to those things, and they look at Texans as taking their money to other states where the state could benefit from some of that money. Instead of going out of state, it would be spent in the state. So they have casinos in many states, and a lot of people have wanted to put that in the ballot to let the voters decide whether the state of Texas should have casinos. And hopefully, we have a state representative here, Tart Hunter, very well-known person, and he's been pushing to get casinos and cruise ships to our Texas waters, especially in Corpus Christi. So I'm with him on this issue that we should increase the tourism for our area, and I've seen in other parts of the world, and I find it incredible that some of these communities were small communities, and they had a lot of cruise ships. One place in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, had 5 cruise ships at one time while I was there, and I couldn't believe it, because it was a small community and so many cruise ships that were bringing in thousands and thousands of visitors, of tourists, to spend their money in those communities. And I feel, well, if they can do that in a small community, Corpus Christi is a very progressive community, and I'm sure we could accommodate some of those tourists that would be coming to South Texas. So I'm for that, and a lot of other things that would benefit our economy. Right now, we're voting on a proposition to increase. They have a rainy fund which has billions with a B of dollars in it. It's called the rainy fund account, and all Texans are getting the opportunity to vote on that to see if we can get a percentage of that money for our water resources. Our water resources are very important for the state of Texas, and they have a 3-man or 3-person committee, and one of them happens to be from Corpus Christi, Lance Braun's son, and very well-known family. And we're proud that he was elected as one of the 3 members of this commission to find ways to make sure that we have the necessary water resources. In our community and in most of South Texas, sometimes we say, well, we're looking at desalination. A desalination plant would sort of take care of some of these water problems that we've had. And we say, well, look, we're never going to run out of water if we tap into the Gulf of Mexico, where sometimes there's years that go by and we have droughts and we're having water restrictions and what have you. But with a water desalination plant, not only would the coastal communities have water, but they would provide water for inner cities and make sure that we have the necessary water for all types of industries. And Corpus is booming right now with industry, and I hope that the voters of the whole state of Texas will support this, where we're going to tap into the rainy fund on the state of Texas, which has billions of dollars.
Actually, you brought up a very good point that I didn't even think about. Of course, Texas is very concerned with its water. And I believe, well, here in Corpus Christi, they get their water from the reservoir, which is basically rainwater, or the lake or something like that?
Yeah, they have Lake Methods and the canyon, which holds waters. They have dams there to hold water. But sometimes when it doesn't rain, and people continue using the water, and on many occasions, the city imposes a restriction where the property owners can't use too much water. They can't water their plants. They can't wash their cars, things like that. And it's a little inconvenient. And we're looking forward to getting a desalination plant in this area. And with the push of this great state representative that we have, I think it will come about very soon, and we're going to have less problems with water. Right now, it rained this past week up in the San Antonio area, and we get all that. And today they announced that the lakes were full. The lakes were full, so I think they'll do away with the restrictions on the water supply for Corpus Christi. And not only Corpus Christi, but there's other communities that sometimes have a water shortage. And I think that by having desalination plants, they would never have to worry about that again, because the Gulf of Mexico holds a lot of water. Yep.
Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, I did recently notice that the reservoirs are full because it rained a lot this year. Of course, we've been in a drought for 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yep.
So I think a desalination plant would really go towards getting water here. And now I don't know if it's going to have enough capacity, or you need multiple plants. At least it would supplement the water that we have right now.
I think one of the desalination plants, like in Corpus Christi, it would supply water to maybe in a 50 or 100-mile radius where the people wouldn't have to worry. It's quite expensive, supposedly, for a desalination plant. But in Corpus Christi, we had the ideal situation. There's a power plant called Barney Davis power plant, and they were already looking at that plant because that's where the Oso Creek comes into the bay there, and they have blackish water, which was to work ideally, and they already have set up there. And people were already negotiating to make sure that we had the proper properties and permits and what have you. So I think it's going to come about, and I hope that it's in that general area because it's close to the ship channel there, and there's a lot of water supply there. It wouldn't be very hard to tap into the water because it's right there on the intercoastal canal, which holds a lot of water, and it would be great because they already have pipelines set up, like what do you call it? Infrastructure, I think set up for the future in case this comes about, and they're already working on something like that, but it hasn't been finalized as to say, okay, here we go, we got the money, and let's go for it, and I hope it comes soon.
And, well, I know for one, Corpus Christi be a pretty good place because, of course, we got major industries here, and as far as refineries and the manpower to build these desalination plants. And there are also other issues you're looking forward as governor is to get a hold of
Right now, this oil boom that we have in the general area of Corpus Christi, Goliad, and San Antonio area, it's been very productive. They're bringing in a lot of oil and gas and natural gas and whatever, and they're starting to look for more plants to process all this industry coming in, and hopefully this thing is going to continue for the next 10, 20 years. So there'll be a lot of jobs and a lot of money to be made by some people that are willing to come and work. Just yesterday, they had an advertisement on TV, and the advertisement said they'll give you a bonus, $5,000 bonus to sign up to work as a truck driver, an 18-wheeler, or $10,000 if you are what do you call it? Heavy equipment operator, that you know how to operate heavy equipment. So that's I never heard of any such thing before in my life, where a company was willing to give you $5,000 or $10,000 just to sign up. That's besides the regular salary, just to sign up. Up to $10,000. I thought that was great.
They probably need them. They're probably usually if they offer a bonus, they're kind of desperate. I'm guessing. Yeah. Of course, crane operators as well. I think they're always looking for those as well to build.
What I understand, like the local regional transportation authority, a lot of the bus drivers have commercial driver's license, and those people that operate those big companies are looking for individuals that have commercial operating license, because that's one of the requirements to operate in Texas, 18-wheeler or heavy equipment or whatever. So they're losing a lot of the local talent to the oil industry further up north. And well, I guess that's good for the community, because the local people can go up there and come back in the same day, and they'll be able to make a few dollars more than what they do with the local industry here.
And okay, I appreciate you coming onto our show and telling us about some of these issues and things like that. So is there anything you want to say before we go? And also make sure you give us your new website. It doesn't appear it's up yet. It should be in the next couple of days as well. Could you?
Yes, I encourage people that if they have a question, they can call me. I have my cell phone with me all the time, and the phone number is area code 361-813-4035. And the website it's going to be rayforgovernor.com. And if you would like to make a contribution to the campaign, I don't know if it's up already or not, but it should be hopefully very soon. You can make a contribution to the campaign through the website, and I'll be traveling around the state. And if you have an organization or a convention and you would like for somebody to come and speak about the governor's race, I'd be more than willing to listen to you and see how the schedule is, and travel to your hometown and visit with you and see if we can get your support. And especially for the people in the area here, this Sunday we're having this brisket barbecue at 1818 Baldwin, and Julian's Barbecue. He makes a tremendous barbecue, and support us. And if you have any ideas, any suggestions, you can email them to me at rayglo64@yahoo.com.
And actually, of course, you tried to get me to go to the barbecue. If I didn't have to work, I'd probably be there eating some barbecue on Sunday. And of course, that was Ray
Madrigal. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Well, I want to thank you for inviting me.
Oh, sure thing, anytime. And hopefully, I'll be looking at when you run and see how you're doing. Obviously, because I like to follow up on what I've done in the past as well. So, and okay, we'll just stop right there.